See, God is sending us. He's sending us out into the world. In your notes, we are not only saved by Jesus, we are also sent to do his good work. See, many of us, we focus on the fact that we're saved, and we forget about the fact that we're sent as well. See, the gospel is not just for us, it's for the world. And we live in a jacked up world. We live in a world where right is called wrong and wrong is called right. We live in a world where people worship in the temple of politics. We live in a world where people sacrifice unborn children on the altar of self-centeredness. Just like they would sacrifice children back then, we see that people have no respect for what God has created. How will people hear? How will people in your neighborhood hear? How will people at your work hear about the good news? How will people in your school, how will they know unless you go? How will they know unless you're willing to invite them to come? Unless you're willing to tell them the story of what God has done in your life? Unless you're willing to serve them? Unless you're willing to tell them, you know what? I made some mistakes too, but God has forgiven me and he's willing to forgive you as well. Let us not bow to these false gods, but let us realize that Jesus, he is the Son of God, and he's building a gathering, and the gates of hell don't stand a chance. In 2 Corinthians 5:17, this means anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone, a new life has begun. And all of this is a gift from God who brought us back to himself through Christ. Look at this last line, underline this. And God has given us this task of reconciling people to him. God has given you this task. God has given me this task of reconciling, introducing people to the good news that Jesus Christ, to God, to the Messiah. We are to be messengers of the good news, not caving to the lies of this world. We are called to be ambassadors of Jesus Christ. We are called to be representatives of his kingdom here on this earth. We are called to be disciples and to make disciples of other people. And nothing can stop this gathering. Nothing can stop the church of Jesus Christ. And you have been invited to be a part of God's activity here on this earth. And we are standing, even this day, we are standing at the gates of hell, and it will not win. It will not prevail. It will not. See, Jesus came to seek and save those who are lost. And that should be our mission as well. Did you know you are God's plan to reach the world? Look around for a second. Like, what? That's all he's got? Yep, that's all he's got. Man. Couldn't you have done something better? Yep. That's what we think. But you are God's plan to reach the world, and there is no plan B. So it's time for us as men and women and children who are following Jesus Christ to rise up, to take a stand, and Jesus is handing over the mission of the church to you. And God will accomplish his mission here on this earth, and he wants you to be involved with it. And the question I have for you is, will you accept his call? Let's pray.